Hey y'all. Welcome everybody. Woo! We are in the third season of Remixing Relationships. How y'all doing? I hope everybody is doing amazing. I know I am. I'm so excited about this third season of Remixing Relationships. All right, we were on a 3-week hiatus so from season 2 to season 3. And even in 3 weeks, so much has happened. Let me start with one of the biggest newses, right? I'm gonna say newses. The biggest news is I started a talk show called Grown Women Energy. So grown woman energy, I should say, and it's with 3 grown women over 50. And it's amazing. And I'm so grateful and I'm so thankful for it. So if you haven't caught that, please do so. It's right here on my YouTube channel. Subscribe to my channel and hit the notification button. So far we have episode 1. Not your it's redefining 50s, not your mama's midlife. That's the show that's available right now, the episode. And then Thursday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we're going to be talking about love over 50. Shout out in that episode. So that's going to be a good one. So make sure you and hit the notification button because that episode will premiere 7 p.m. Eastern Standard. So this is the thing about the premiere. So it was so cool. Last week I was able to in real time comment on some of the comments, and we were talking about it in real time as the show was going. People were commenting. And it's a beautiful thing because you guys can do that now, but because I set it to premiere, you're able to do that. So definitely check out Grown Woman Energy on Thursdays at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And episode 2, once again, will be coming out this Thursday. Hey, everybody. Hey, everybody. Hey, everybody. Welcome in and tell a friend. Don't be afraid to share this out to all your people because let me tell you something about this episode. We're not playing any games in season 3. Not that we played games. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Not that we played games in season 1 or 2. Thanks, babe. Episode. Well, this is a season 3 kickoff, so I appreciate that. So, all right. So, season 3, I'm going to do some things differently. In season 3, I'm going to kick off the tone of what we're going to be talking about in season 3. And I'm going to have a lot of couples on in season 3. So you'll get to hear his perspective and her perspective. And y'all know that I had some couples on in season 1 and in season 2, but I'm going to try to limit the couples to season 3. What else do I want to say? Say so much. I'm just so excited to be back. But today's topic, and I hope Aisha is watching because she was like, "Oh, this is about to be good." I'm talking about mission statements. So, first of all, welcome into this is a place where we promote healthy relationships and things differently. So get your swim caps on, get your construction boots on. Y'all go get y'all Timberlands because we are going to be diving deep with that swim cap and we're going to be stepping on toes because sometimes I might be stepping even on my own toes. It's about helping one another grow in the space of relationships because the divorce rate is 50-50. 50% of people are divorcing. You have a lot of young people now saying, I'm not even going to get married. I done seen all these marriages in my past or in my family, and they ain't working out. I'm good on marriage, or I don't even want a monogamous relationship because all people cheat, all people do this. I don't want a relationship. I just want to do what I want to do. So relationships are dwindling, believe it or not. Statistically, that's what it says. But what I'm hearing is that a lot of older people are now, when I say older, I mean like 40 and over, are getting married and having successful relationships. And some may say that's because they done bumped their head a million times and now they are good. Nevertheless, they're still doing it. All right. So I'm going to take a moment and you guys share this out, and I'm going to do the same. Whether you're watching live or the playback, I thank you so much for being here. I may be all over the place a little bit. I'm so excited. It's so much that I want to cover in this little bit of time. So if are you watching live or the playback, let me know if you checked out my new talk show, Grown Woman Energy, and let me know if you're going to be watching this week, because it's going to fall once again right in line with what we're talking about today, and that's dating and relationships. All right, so today's episode is the importance of relationship mission statements. So all of you business people out there, all of you entrepreneurs, all of you business owners, business minded people, you're not going to go into business without a mission statement. You're going to say, okay, listen, this is what I want my business to do. These are the numbers that I want my business. This is the outcome I want for my business. So I'm going to have a mission statement. Go to any nonprofit, they have a mission statement. Go to anybody's business website, they have a mission statement. So I'm pro mission statement for relationships. Why don't people talk about that? Don't you want a certain success in your relationship? Don't you want a relationship that has a mission, or are you just all willy-nilly flowing with the wind? Don't you want your relationship to be the best it could be? That's the same thing. And we got to talk about that. So that's how we're kicking off season 3. Now, some of y'all might be like, well, dang, I never thought of that. Or you might say, you know what, that's something that I'm interested in. And when I coach couples, this is what I talk about. So I have the pleasure of marrying. I'm a wedding officiant, right? And I'm also a certified life coach of 20 plus years. And I also have a degree in human services. I'll be serving the people, right? But with that being said, we're going to have 3 premarital coaching sessions before I marry them, because I want to get to know them separately and together. And then that's one of the questions that I'm going to ask you. What's the mission for your marriage, your upcoming nuptials? What's the mission? Because if there's no mission and all you saying we just going to love each other forever, that's all good and willy-nilly, but that's not the mission, nor should it be the mission for a relationship. It shouldn't just be about love, because it is bigger than love. Love is essential. Like is essential. Compatibility is essential. Alignment is essential. All of these ingredients are essential to a relationship, but a mission is your purpose. Now, in previous seasons, I've talked about purpose partnership. I've talked about purpose in relationships and having someone who is evenly yoked. I've talked about that quite often. And some of you may say, you know what? It might be the same. It's cousins. All right. So, I got my notes here because I prepare for every episode. I just want to congratulate us for coming back to season 3, Remixing Relationships. This is a powerful topic, y'all. Comparing relationship to business in terms of having a mission statement. It's the tone for intentional and purpose-driven love and connection. All right. So we're going to break that on down. What's the mission of your love is the question that I'm starting this off with. And I'm going to talk about why every relationship needs a mission statement. So, where should I start? It's so many places. I got all of these notes, y'all. It's so many places that I want to start. And it's going to be a good one next week. So you're not going to want to miss that. I have an amazing power couple that's going to be uh, on Remixing Relationships. They asked if they could be a part of it, and I said absolutely. So if you're a couple out there and you would like to be a guest virtually, it could be from anywhere. Hit me up at candelanice@gmail.com, and you and your boo can be a guest right here because we diving deep. And if you're ready to promote healthy relationships, if you're ready to be vulnerable and talk about some things, I don't know if y'all saw the season closer for season 2, but they went there. The vulnerability was on 10. All right. So if a business needs a mission statement to thrive, why don't we prioritize that in relationships? If you're watching live or the playback, tell me why. So, in this mission statement and this mission for your relationship, the purpose of a relationship mission statement is to discuss how the mission statement helps in relationship. It helps by setting values, shared values, guiding decisions, staying aligned during tough times, because if you're in a relationship for 10 minutes, you're going to have tough times, let alone 10 years. Staying aligned again in the tough times, avoiding drifting apart. Oftentimes people break up, get a divorce because they say, you know what, we're going two separate ways. We're drifting apart, right? And that's maybe because they didn't have a mission. They were rolling with the wind. There was no mission statement. There was no purpose. Maybe they just were focused on the love. And the love is an excellent purpose, but it's not the end all be all in a partnership, in a relationship. So our mission is, let me give an example of a mission statement for those that may not know what the hey I'm talking about. All right. Our mission is to build a safe space where honesty, laughter, and faith lead our love. That could be your mission statement. It's not about 9 paragraphs. It's not about 11 words. It's about what you're aligned with. Everybody's mission is going to be different. But what does yours look like? That's what we're talking about today. It's so important to think about these things because a lot of people think about the wedding. A lot of people think about the fun times. A lot of people think about, well, what we're going to do is we're going to go on vacation, we're going to be watching movies, we're going, I got a built-in date. And those are all amazing parts of relationships. But what are you doing for yourselves? What are you doing to build your legacy within your relationship? What are you doing to leave a lasting mark and to do something that is God driven, that's purpose driven? What are you doing? And if you're not doing anything but just sleeping next to each other, we got to think bigger. This is about promoting healthy relationships. And many relationships aren't healthy and you don't even know it. All right. So it's no direction, no connection. This is why relationship missions are important. So we're going to real talk and we're going to lean right into it because I want y'all to succeed. So let me be honest, and I wrote this down. I've been in relationships that were just vibes, right? No vision, because we know about no vision. We were doing life together, but we weren't building anything together. And when things get hard, when there's no communication or it's broken down or the chemistry is fading, there was nothing to keep us grounded. No mission, no message, just moments. And the moments don't build a future. I'm going to say this. When your relationships, because think about all the relationships you've been in. I can think about relationships that I've been in, and some of them had no mission, no message. It was just moments in time, right? And moments don't build futures. Missions build the future that hold these relationships together. All right. So then think about this. You start treating relationships with the same intention that you treat your business. Think about all the time, all the effort, all the things you do to your business. Then you ask, okay, what is the purpose for my business? You ask the same with your relationship. What is the purpose of our relationship? What are our values? What legacies are we building together? And then you say, okay, then you become more aligned with the person when they show you that they're here to stay, but you need clarity in your relationships. Let me put the banner up for those that are just tuning in. We're talking about mission statements. Let me make sure it's up here so y'all know exactly what I'm talking about. I know you can see it in some places, but I want to make sure you guys have it right up here. All right. All right. So here's what I want y'all to do. It's about remixing tonight. We're going to remix some of these relationships. And it's never too late to get a mission statement in your relationship or marriage. Even if you've been married more than 20 years, more than 10 years, 40 years, it's not too late to have some direction in your relationship to make sure. And it's actually great when you're in a relationship or in a marriage and it's getting stale, it's getting dry. You guys are just like robots around. You still love each other. You still snuggling and huggling, and you still playing footsies in the bed and all of those things. But you may need some fresh breath in your relationship. So think about ways that you can do. It's never too late to have a mission statement. Don't think, oh, we've been married this long. It's good to have a mission statement. So we're going to talk about this. So I want you to imagine your relationship again like a business. If someone asks you, what does your relationship do? What is the mission? What would you say? What is my relationship? What does it do? You got to think about things like that. So, what do you stand for? This is in the relationship. Are we growing in the same direction? Do we feel safe and seen in this space? When life gets hard, what's the anchor to hold us together? This is why a lot of relationships don't make it to the finish line because when life gets hard, there is no anchor holding the couple together because now everybody's ready to be like chucking up deuces, like I'm out. I'm not dealing with that. I don't need that. And they're ready to just not even deal because they feel like if they deal, then it's not if they deal, they're just dealing because they're supposed to deal. You know what I'm saying? If they're dealing, it's just because they're supposed to deal, or somebody told them, you know what, this is my last shot at love. I'm just gonna go ahead and just deal. I don't care about no mission. I don't care about nothing. And that's the way to be because you don't want to be. This is one of my favorite movies, and I quote it often if you follow me. Love Jones. When Nia Long and Khalil's characters, they're there and they're trying to see if they can make it work again. And he's like, we've been together all of these years. Like, basically, you know me, you know how it goes. And she looks at him and she's sitting in that chair and she says, all we had was all these years, and it's just not enough for me anymore. She chucked the deuces. So think about it. A lot of people like to say, we've been together 15 years. We've been together 25 years. We've been together 35 years. We've been together 2 years. They love to count off the numbers. But what is the quality? Where's that quality in those years? Is it all we had was all these years? Just as the same as friendships. You be talking about, yeah, I known them for 50 years, but you ain't talked to them in 49 years. So think about the quality of your relationship, like you think about the quality of your friends. Think about how many friends that you've outgrown, how many friends that you have nothing in common, but only the only thing you have in common is the years that you've been friends. Think about that. So you're ready to be like, yeah, we kind of drifted apart. We're not talking anymore. But sometimes the relationships just stay because people are taught to stick and stay in relationships and work it out. A lot of people, or you don't got to talk. This person can cheat. I know people in relationships right now that both of the people are cheating right now. but go on Facebook and be like, we've been together 30 years. We've been married for 30 years, but both of them are cheating on each other. So what is the quality? Was there even a mission, or we just riding this thing out till the wheels fall off? You going to do this, you going to do that. And unfortunately, I know a lot of couples who are just riding it out. They don't talk, they don't do stuff together. They share a home. They might chuckle and hee a little bit. They may go to a show. They may go on a vacation, but they ain't like that. It's no mission. And sometimes people start getting missions when they have kids. That's good. When they have grandchildren, when they're ready for retirement, they start having a mission. But the intention to be together, if both of you are willing to be together, then I call it kitchen table conversations. Those are the kind of conversations you need to have. So I'm going to ask again, and I hope you're taking notes, whether you're watching live or the playback. What do we stand for? Are we growing in the same direction? Do we feel safe and seen in this space, in this relationship space? And when life gets hard, what's the anchor that will hold us together? What is the anchor that will hold us together? If you don't have an anchor in your relationship, you're going to go either way. You know how when someone has a boat, I love boats and it's getting to be boating season. They don't just pull their boat to the dock, right? They anchor it so it's not moving, so it's solid. And that's what the anchor is for, even in the relationship. It's to stabilize you. And that's what a lot of people don't have. And that's why, again, they're floating like the wind. All right. So here's your remix challenge. Take some time this week. I want you to write down, if you're in a relationship or you want to be in a relationship, or you know God is about to bring you that mate, I want you to get prepared. So this is for this part right here is for the singles. If you're single or you're dating or you want to date, this part. And then we're going to get into the ones in a relationship, and then we're going to get into the married ones. So this is your remix challenge. Take some time this week and write down your relationship mission assignments. Whether you're in a relationship, this is going to be for everybody, dating or single, prepare to write them down, get them ready, be intentional. And this is a formula. So the single people, you're going to talk about not your list. They got to have curly hair. They got to be 6 foot this. They got to be 5 foot this. They got to have a wallet they can stand on. They got to have all the things that you say. They got to have both eyes. Yeah. Okay. Definitely. But think about the things that you want, the things that money can't buy, the things that will sustain you in your relationship, the things that you want to do. Maybe you have a mission and you have a plan for your life. We know God is the ultimate planner, but think about some of the things that you want to do, right? Put those down and then see what you want your mate to be aligned with you to do. And then you guys sit down and have a conversation. Those are the people that are in a relationship. But if you're not, you're just going to write those things down. All right. So let me give you an example. You have a core value, right? Everybody has core values, the values that make them who they are, the things that they will do, the things that they won't do. Those are the ways that you were raised. Those are the ways that you were brought up, or those are values that you learn along the way from your mother, your father, your grandparents, aunt, uncles, neighbors, the things that make you who you are to the core. So let me give you an example of one. We commit to faith, laughter, and accountability in order to create a peaceful and purpose-filled partnership. Think about that. Now, yours could be something totally, totally different. There is no right or wrong answer or how you're going to create a mission. But this is to give you, like, what is the mission of your love? I want you to really think about that. And if you're in a relationship now, ask yourself, do we even have a mission? because it's not too late to get one. All right. So we're talking about everything in this relationship. Let's talk about why every relationship has or needs a romance. We had Austin on here in season 2 talking about romancipes, and he wrote a book for the fella to be more romantic. It's not an option. It is a necessity to keep the fire burning in your relationship, because somebody's going to drift to the left, somebody's going to drift to the right, or y'all just going to be sitting there staring at each other. It's important to keep some type of romance in your relationship. And you guys can determine what romance is to you. It's not always what you see on TV. You don't have to define that by what you see, but define it by who you are and who you guys are in a relationship. Or if you're looking to get in a relationship, what does that look like? Because you can't ask somebody to do something or be something if you don't even know what it looks like yourself. All right. So romance, commitment, growing together, all of it should have a mission statement. No more just going with the flow. We're not doing that. It's time for love with a direction, a vision, and a purpose. What y'all think? Y'all getting it? Are your juices flowing? Are you thinking about what type of relationship you want to have, or what type of relationship that you have now and you want to remix? Because that's about, you can remix your love. You can remix how you see things and how you do things. It's not too late. You would invest in a business. Think about this. If somebody asks you to invest in their business, right? Would you just give them your money, give them your time, give them all of you without knowing, well, what is the mission? Oh, before I invest in your business, before I invest in my business, what is the mission? Because I can't go to you and say, you know what? I want you to invest in my business. Okay, so what is the purpose? What are you trying to do? Oh, I don't know yet, but I just need you to invest. It's the same with a relationship. Why are you going to invest your time, your money, and your energy, and y'all don't even have a mission? Every relationship needs a mission statement. I'm going to continuously drive that home. It's not about love always, it's about the intention. So if you and your partner don't know your purpose, it's easy to lose your path. If you don't know your purpose, it's easy to lose your path. Somebody need to put that in the comments, whether you're watching live or the playback. I need somebody who could write for me so we can put that in, because that's a powerful one. If you and your partner don't know your purpose, it's easy to lose your path. Again, this is for singles. This is for folks dating. This is for the married folks. And this is for you who don't know what it is. It's complicated. How about that? Y'all got it on Facebook. It's complicated. So if someone asks you, what does your relationship stand for? Could you even answer? Like, what does your relationship stand for? I don't know. It's probably standing for these cookouts that we're gonna have this summer. It's standing for, and if that's part of your mission statement, that we're gonna travel, that we're gonna go have fun, if we're gonna do that, is fine. It don't have to be super deep. It just has to be what you two plan, what you two are aligned with. It could be, I want to change the world. How do you want to change the world? I want to give back. I want to give 10% to missions. I want to do, it could be something deep like that. Or it could be, you know what? Our mission statement is to talk things through, to stay together by communication, by honesty, by commitment. It could be something like that. Our mission in this relationship is to help other couples through our relationship build a healthy relationship and get stronger. It could be something like that. It could be, our mission is to raise our family, take care of our children and grandchildren, and make sure we have a home for them to come to if they need to come back. It could be something simple like that. It's just like a base, like home base for you. It could be really, really deep. It could be simple. It could be a paragraph. It could be one sentence, 2 words. But it's up to you. You have to, what's the mission of your love? And once again, it got to be something more than just, I love him, I love her. It got to be something deeper. All right. So this is for the lovers, this is for the healers, this is for the dreamers, and the ones who are tired of loving without a plan. Because I know I can think of relationships that, it again, as I shared earlier, that didn't have a mission. It could have been a loose mission. It could have been a mission that started as a mission, because sometimes people will try to have your same mission, your same view to connect with you. But that might not be really their mission. That might not be their goal, but they want to get in your good graces. And sometimes it's consciously and sometimes it's unconsciously. And then sometimes the longer you're together, you kind of morph into one another, and that's okay too. And some people get to have a mission, right? So it's not about right or wrong. It's not about, I didn't do this, it's too late. It's never too late. You can, like I said earlier, 35 years, you can start a mission, and then your mission may change. Your mission may change throughout the course of your relationship. But I want to talk to the singles. It's okay that you're single, right? It's better to be single and figuring out and working on you than to have a train wreck with somebody else who was single that didn't work on them, right? So if you're single and you're watching this podcast right now, it's a beautiful thing, because it's about remixing relationships. Some people might say, well, I ain't got no relationship to remix, right? But for you to get the tools and knowledge now, it's to make you a better mate, not only for your mate, your future mate, but for yourself, to get the knowledge. Just like anything else that you're doing, people try to go seek the knowledge. You're not just going to start building a log cabin with no direction. You're not going to just go out there and be like, this is what I'm going to do. You're going to go on YouTube University. You're going to Google some things. You're going to see, okay, what are the tools that I need to build this log cabin? What am I going to need? How is this going to look? Let me see a picture of how it's going to look. Let me see a step-by-step, a play-by-play. You're going to get directions for anything else but a relationship. Now we have the Bible, obviously. We have relationship books. We have podcasts such as this, but some of the podcasts, I ain't even going to hold you. Some of the podcasts, some of the people be saying some wild stuff. And it's not about promoting healthy relationships. There are definitely a lot of relationship podcasts that have great information. And then some of them is just opinion, not based on anything. And they're going back and forth, and people are listening to them, and their relationships ain't even working, because everybody's like, well, you need to do this. This podcast said you need to do this. This book said you need to do this. And it's not a one size fits all when it comes to relationships. Everybody's relationship is different, and everybody's relationship behind closed doors is different than it is with folks, because you're not going to be 100% vulnerable in public a lot of times. At least both parties may not, but you're hopefully vulnerable with one another, and that's the whole key. So on this podcast, it's not about the fluff. It's about real talk to help some of these relationships, because we got to do better. And like I always say in the podcast, there's so many relationships that we have been in, myself included, that you don't even know is dysfunctional. You don't even know that it's unhealthy, because you just living it and doing it. But if you're in an unhealthy relationship, it could be an unhealthy relationship spiritually, financially. It could be abuse of any kind, right? It could be ignoring, not talking, gaslighting. People don't understand when you're in a house or you're talking and somebody's just ignoring you on purpose. That's gaslighting. That's emotional and psychological abuse. I had this conversation with a woman, and she was just saying she was going through it. And she said, it was an abusive relationship on both fronts, physically and psychologically. And she said, as I've often heard, like, you just don't understand. The scars go away physically, but that psychological abuse, it lasts. And I've been there. I've been there where it's that, wait a minute, that gaslighting. And I was trying to explain this to my mom, what it is, because I be teaching my mother and I love that she's open to learn. And people always they start talking about gaslighting as a buzzword, but in my line of business, I've been talking about gaslighting. So basically, the easiest way to explain it is if you know you didn't do something, but someone makes you question your own brain and your own thoughts. If I said, let me think of an example. If I said, if I know that I went into the refrigerator, right, and got orange juice out the refrigerator, and this is just a simple way to explain it. And your mate, whether it's the woman or the man, says, I just had orange juice. I got it out the refrigerator. Where is it? I don't think you got no orange juice out the refrigerator. You might be bugging. Then it comes with the names. You might be bugging. Sometimes you don't pay attention. Sometimes you don't even go in the refrigerator. Then you'll be like, oh shoot, maybe I didn't get the orange juice. I thought I put it right there. And sometimes the gaslighter could be hiding it or just messing with your mind. It is so strategic where you question yourself, like, oh, well, maybe I didn't. Maybe I didn't. Maybe I didn't even have orange. Did I have orange juice? It's like that. And it's really bad when it comes to certain things. And some people do it on purpose, and you heard narcissism and all of that. So there's so many different ways that you can have an unhealthy relationship, or sometimes you don't even know that you have one, because if you've seen somebody talking reckless to your mother or your father growing up, or your grandparents or your aunts and uncles, or you've gone over your friends' houses and you've seen them be talked to, you don't know that it's unhealthy until somebody tells you that, right? You don't know if you're not talking. You don't know if you're not intimate. If you don't have a healthy intimacy connection, an intimate connection, whether it's a sexual relationship, the intimacy, that's not a healthy relationship, because that is a component, especially if you're married. That's a component. Now, if somebody is ill or someone cannot perform, then obviously, or somebody is sick, but that is part of it. So you have all of these branches to what a healthy relationship looks like. So I'm going to tell you quickly as we come to a close in a bit. So, what is a healthy relationship? Because after all, that's what this show is about. This whole podcast is promoting it. So, I'm going to go into that for those that may be questioning, because you might say, you know what, I'm not even going to be with this woman or this man. So, this is for the next time, because I don't want a mission statement. I realize we're not aligned and we're not going to have a mission together. I want to talk about what a healthy relationship is. And let me make sure I'm clear on that. So a healthy relationship is one where both people feel respected, supported, safe, and valued, and they work together to grow individually as a team. It's built on mutual trust, honesty, communication, emotional safety, and shared goals or values, right? So, here's some key ingredients of a healthy relationship. What y'all think I'm going to say first? Communication. Communication is so key and so important in a relationship. A lot of people think, well, they just don't communicate, or they don't know how to communicate. And that is true. Some people do not know how to communicate. Communication is simply talking openly and honestly about your thoughts and feelings. You listen to understand, not to respond. That's healthy communication. And we all can work on it. This is not about perfection. This is not about, oh my God, I'm in an unhealthy relationship. What am I going to do? That's what this podcast is about, helping you, promoting healthy relationships and doing things differently. And it's not too late to begin again. It's not too late to remix your life and yourself in your love. So, communication, that's a healthy ingredient to a healthy relationship. Trust. How can you have a healthy relationship when there is no trust in your relationship? You can't rely on one another. How is that trust? You can't talk to the person. How is that trust? You chasing after the person because they done went to the mail, right? So think about that. So a lot of times people don't trust a person not based on that person, right? But because it could have been a mother who said they were going to 7-Eleven to get a Slurpee and they never came back. It could have been a parent that did that. It could have been an ex that did that. So now this next woman, man, they can't even blink without you saying, what you blinking for? Where you going? And they're like, I'm just going to the car. What's in the car? You get what I'm saying? So that trauma from somebody else, you might be putting it on that person, and you may not trust that person based off of somebody else. But that's somebody else's. You can't be carrying everybody's luggage and baggage. You got to leave that baggage at the door, at the gate, and come in with no baggage. Is that possible? Sometimes not, but come in with lighter baggage than these heavy bags, right? Of all the things. That's why it's important to begin. You don't have to be, nobody's going to be completely healed. Nobody. But you have to work towards that. You have to work towards your healing from past traumas and for yourself, so you can be a better version of yourself, obviously for yourself, for God, and then in turn, you can be a good partner. If you're out there dating, this is for the single folks dating. If you're out there dating, don't be afraid to say, hey, have you been to counseling, therapy, coaching? What do you do to work on yourself? If they're opposed to any of that, not run, not walk away from the person, because you don't need anybody that's stunted or their development is arrested and they're not willing to grow, right? You don't need that. Don't even begin that. Don't even try to fall in love. You can't say I'm attached, I'm addicted, I'm to this person, because you ain't even give them a chance. I start asking hard questions off the rip. Have you been to therapy, counseling? What do you do? Have you started your healing journey? Don't be afraid to ask that. And if they run the other way, so be it. There's a lot of men and women out here. You get it? Yes, healing daily. Absolutely. All right. So trust, you can rely on each other. There's no constant checking, accusing, or hiding. You shouldn't be doing none of that. Respect. That's another ingredient for a healthy relationship. You honor each other's boundaries, opinions, and differences. Everybody ain't going to be like you. Stop trying to make everybody like you. Everybody is not going to be like you. They're meant to be them, not you. Knock it off. Right? You honor each other's boundaries, opinions, and differences. I'm going to say that again. There's no belittling, name calling, or controlling behavior. Stop trying to control people. That's not healthy. Even if you're doing it by accident, we got to get better. Support. You encourage each other's dreams and goals. You're emotionally available and present for one another. You're emotionally available and present for one another. Now, this is the thing. This is where the water gets murky, because somebody is there physically and you like, she always there. He's always there. It does not mean it's healthy if they're not there emotionally. They could be emotionally checked out. It's not healthy if you can never reach them emotionally. So you got to really pay attention to that. Equality is number 5. Decision making, effort, responsibilities are shared, especially if you're married, living in the same house. One person can't be breaking their back, breaking their butt, do everything. It got to be shared. You decide what you're doing. Even with my daughters, we're all together. It's like, okay, you have this responsibility, I have this responsibility. That's how we make the train go. That's how we keep it running, right? That's what it is, even in a relationship or marriage. One person isn't dominating the relationship. This is what we do. This is what I said. This is how it's going to be. This is what I do. This is what I say. This is how it's going to be. No, it's a shared experience in the relationship. Number six, emotional and physical safety. You can feel safe expressing yourself without fear of judgment or harm. I'm going to pause right there. Some of y'all ain't feeling emotionally or physically safe in your relationship. I'm not telling you what to do, but I feel it in my soul. Somebody watching live or the playback is not feeling emotionally or physically safe in their relationship. You feel safe. A healthy version is you feel safe expressing yourself without fear or judgment. Some people get talked to recklessly if they have their own opinion, if they have their own view, or they're judged for having it. And also, conflict doesn't lead to emotional manipulation or abuse. That's emotional safety. Conflict doesn't lead to emotional manipulation or abuse. Let's talk about that. I'm going to break that down. Emotional safety is very important to me, extremely important to me, because I have relationships where I have not felt emotionally safe, right? So think about conflict. You get into an argument. Don't even have to be a big argument. And somebody ignores your calls. Somebody don't talk to you no more. You don't feel loved, right? You don't feel heard. And then it leads to emotional manipulation. That's that emotional manipulation. If somebody's calling, you ain't answering, or if somebody's trying to talk to you or waking up, you're not. That's that somebody on the string like that, right? That is very unsafe. That's not healthy. So you gotta do better. You gotta be able to sit down and talk it out if your relationship is worth it. Now, if it ain't worth it, you ain't got to do it. That person go left, you go right. Physical safety is important to a lot of people for obvious reasons, right? You want to feel safe. And emotional safety, if you want to share your heart, if you want to share your soul with somebody, you have to be able to feel safe to be able to do that. And if you don't feel safe doing that, then you have to question who you're in a relationship with. And it's okay, but you got to be able to do that because it has to be healthy. And if you're the person that's not allowing somebody else to feel emotionally safe, then you have to work on that. It's about getting better. It's not about pointing fingers. It's not about blaming somebody. It's about us getting better for us and them getting better for them. So then when them and us come together, then we're able to have a healthy relationship. Number seven, healthy conflict. Conflict is not a bad thing. You're two different people coming from two different places, coming from two different worlds and experiences. So, how do you have healthy conflict? Disagreement happens, as I said, but it's handled with maturity and the desire to understand, not to win. Did y'all hear me? Did y'all hear me with these notes? I'm not playing with y'all. We coming with the coming for season 3. I'm gonna read that again. Healthy conflict. Disagreements happen, but they're handled with maturity and the desire to understand, not to win. If you're a team and you're in a relationship, if I lose, you lose. If you lose, I don't win. Y'all got to stop being competition in the relationship, because if I lose, then my partner loses. If he loses, then I lose. That's how it is. Now this is the last one, number 8, and this is fun. Fun in friendship. You enjoy each other's company and you have fun together. People underestimate fun. Having fun and laughing can keep your relationship together. All you people out there single or you're dating, if you can't laugh, if they can't even turn their mouths up like this, everything like this, mm-mm, that ain't for you. I'm gonna tell you right now, that ain't for you. That ain't for you to be in a relationship or even dating somebody who does not know how to have fun, does not know how to laugh. You cannot date somebody, be married to somebody for a long time if they serious about everything. Now, both of y'all serious together and neither one of y'all want to laugh. There's a match made in heaven. Y'all can be mean, disgruntled together. But if one person is fun and silly and goofy, you want to laugh, and the other person like it's too serious to laugh about. Why are you laughing all the time? You shouldn't be. That ain't the person for you. You have to enjoy each other's company. There's a solid friendship at the core. A healthy relationship, y'all, isn't perfect, but it's rooted in growth, mutual effort, and love that builds you together, not breaks you. So think about that. So I'm going to go back to it. I'm glad that I interjected with the healthy relationship within the mission statement. So hopefully that helped you understand what a healthy relationship looks like. So after all of that, as we end, I'm going to ask you, what's the mission of your love? What's the mission of your future love? What kind of mission do you have for your relationship? If you don't have one, it is quite all right. Can you get one? 100% you can. This was a great episode, a season opener. And y'all got to come back. Y'all know Remixing Relationships is every Monday at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Make sure y'all share this out with people. Make sure you get the word out about remixing relationships. It ain't gonna be no male bashing over here. It ain't gonna be talking about other women. It ain't gonna be saying, "Oh yeah, this person shouldn't have done this or that." Unless I have guests and they're sharing their truth, they're sharing their story. Then that's what it's about. Because it's beautiful to learn from other people, so you don't make the same mistake. Number one, and number two, so you can recognize some of the things you may be doing in another person and correct the behavior, because we've all had situations where we have to correct our behavior, right? We have to grow in certain areas. Nobody is perfect. So nobody's going to have a perfect relationship. There's always going to be bumps in the road, but are you going to stick and stay? Is there a mission that you have in your relationship that's bigger than the bickering, maybe, or the arguing, or no intimacy, or no talking or laughing? What is important to you? If intimacy is important to you, if talking and laughing is important to you, if effective communication is important to you, but it's not to the other person, then your missions may not align. So again, let me give you an example of one. First, again, if business, as we wrap up, if businesses need a mission to thrive, why wouldn't your relationship? It's time to get that mission statement in the relationship. So a mission statement, once again, can help setting shared values, guiding decisions, staying aligned during tough times, avoiding drifting apart. So let me give you an example of one. It could be something as simple as this. Our mission is to build a safe space where honesty, laughter, and faith lead our love. Meaning, when those times get rough, let's be honest. You know what? I ain't feeling you right now. That's honesty. Laughing, you can laugh at that. Yeah, I ain't feeling you neither. Chuck, 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 ha, ha, ha. That can break the ice with that. Faith. Listen, we taking this to God. We praying about this. I'm praying over you. You praying over me. Faith is a strong one, and that's what leads your love. So think about that. You always go back to the mission when things are not right. So ask yourself, what do we stand for as a couple? What do I want to stand for with my future person? What values are non-negotiable? And what kind of legacy do we want to leave as a unit together? And those are things that you want to ask. All right, so this was a great episode. If you enjoyed it, definitely leave a comment, whether you're watching live or the playback. Also, if you feel compelled to donate to the show and to the channel, you can give as little as 99 cents. If you're watching on Facebook, I think you hit the star and you can give 99 cents. You're watching on YouTube, it should say thanks with a $sign in there or something like that. But of course, you don't have to. But if you want to, because these are all labors of love, I just want to help the people, y'all. I want to help the people and help myself, because there's not a show, any of the shows that I do, there's never a show, including my Bible study and the talk shows and the things that I have, that I never hear my own voice and even learn from my own voice with my expertise in my research for each show. I put a lot into it, and I want to make sure that I'm obedient and giving that to you, because we got to change the game when it comes to these relationships. We got to have better relationships and lasting ones. I'm divorced more than once, but I've had relationships that did not work because I'm only responsible for me. You're only responsible for you. You're never responsible for another person. And sometimes when relationships end, it may not be your fault. It may not be their fault. Those two were probably never meant to be, because there was no mission. There was no alignment. It could have been just for a temporary situation, a reason, season, or a lifetime. So don't be so hard on yourself if a relationship didn't work. Just take something from each relationship that you've been in, learn to help you grow. Hopefully a relationship always teaches you about yourself. It's never about pointing the fingers of what somebody else didn't do. That's not your business. They're not your problem. Your business and your problem is you. Right? So say, okay, what could I have done differently? It don't matter. They could have done 999 things and you could have done 5 things. Hopefully you're not comparing like that, but focus on your 5 things, right? What did you do wrong, and what could be different, and how could you have been different? Because it's all about growing. It's all about learning in that relationship. All right, y'all. So I'm glad that you tuned into season 3 of Remixing Relationships. Thank you, everybody. I see all of you guys in here. Some left comments, some didn't, and that's quite all right. Make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel and share this out on social media platforms, as well as send it to your people via text. Remixing Relationship is a place where we remix love to make it better, stronger, and timeless, because it's never too late to remix your life or your love. Thank you for joining me today. Your time is valuable, and I'm glad you spent it here with me in season 3. Remember, healthy connections are within your reach, and together we could create love and life you deserve. I'm Kendall Anish, your fave life coach, the Remix Coach. Until next time, keep growing, keep healing, and keep loving each other. God bless y'all. Peace. Thank you for watching.